Hello and welcome back to the A to Z of the 2017 SIHH, and off we go. Let's now talk about Greubel Forsey, and they've introduced quite a timepiece this year with a true masterpiece with the Grande Sonnerie. To my mind, really one of the stars of this 2017 edition. It's the brand's first chiming watch, and they definitely didn't take any shortcuts in developing this watch. More than 11 years of development was necessary to come up with what is at the very top of mechanical watchmaking art, as this watch chimes on the passage of each quarter of the hour, the Grande Sonnerie function, or only at the passage of the hour, the Petite Sonnerie, or it can be put in silence mode. But you can also use it as a regular minute repeater by pushing the button on the crown to listen to what time it is to the minute. We have a full report on this timepiece, and if you haven't seen it, I clearly invite you to do so. Link to be found below in the description box of this video, because it's really an incredible and beautiful achievement, as well as some other variations of existing models that are presented there, and also the end of the asymmetric tourbillon 24 seconds caliber with a special historic edition. And now let's talk about Hautlence, the first brand we talk about in this A to Z, coming from the Carré des Horlogers, a space dedicated to what is called the independent brands of the show, but one should say to the smaller brands of the salon, as there are a few independent brands in the regular part of this SIHH. Simply think of Audemars Piguet, Richard Mille, Greubel Forsey or Parmigiani. So Hautlence claimed to have a rebel spirit. Remember their tagline and their design partnership with Eric Cantona, for instance. Well, they took that rebel spirit a step higher by coming to the SIHH without any novelties to show. How cool is that? Or strange? Well, let's talk with Sandro Reginelli, CEO of the brand, who will quickly explain us why. So we know that Hautlence is a small company, but then quite an original company, and you're being original yet again because you're here at the SIHH, but you're not really presenting any novelties. You're reserving this for a bit later on, aren't you?
Exactly, you know, we never follow the trends, we never follow the traditional guidelines at Hautlence, and we decided this year to present our two novelties, but of course under embargo to some key journalists and obviously some key retailers, but the official launch will be Basel.
Well, thank you very much, and looking forward being in Basel and seeing those two new timepieces.
You know, Matt, it's going to be just crazy, and we're not going to wait Basel, because communication will be released now step by step until Basel.
HYT came with a rather daring pocket watch combining two signature features of the brand, the skull-shaped fluidic hour indicator plus their very original mechanical light display mechanism. If you want to know all about it, I again clearly invite you to check out the full report dedicated to them, link to be found below. Let's now talk about IWC, and this will also be quite short, as I have to admit that I was not too impressed with what I saw. It makes me a bit sad because IWC was really a brand I used to love. But now I think it's getting a bit more banal, unfortunately, though there still are a few very interesting models, especially in terms of technicality. So this year their focus was set on the total redesign of the Da Vinci collection, as it wants to push forward timepieces geared towards women. Nonetheless, this redesign is a step forward, but not really my cup of tea, if you see what I mean. But let's be honest, as the perpetual calendar chronograph with its grey slate dial and 43mm steel case is quite something. This watch comes with a new movement beating at 4 Hz, it's a flyback chronograph, something you would expect from them, and one originality is that the way you keep track of the chrono time is with a dedicated sub-dial found at 12 o'clock with hour and minute hands. And just to share a little extra, when they presented us the film of this revamped Da Vinci collection, well, they came with probably one of the cheesiest slogans I have ever heard. Da Vinci, the code of beauty. Okay, I'll let you recuperate a moment about this one. Let's now talk about Jaeger, and their main focus was put on the Rendezvous collection, the only collection solely dedicated to women, as women account for 45% of overall sales, as we were told by Jaeger. And this is not even counting women wearing other men's models, so yes, a very important clientele for them. The Reverso is naturally the #1 collection, but the Rendezvous is already the second one, reason why they came with quite a number of new models in this collection. But we won't go all over them and just talk about the Sonatina, which presents a rather playful trick, as you can place a star-shaped indicator on the time you desire and your watch will emit a small chiming sound on the passage of that actual hour. In the Reverso line, well, nothing really new, but in the Hybris Artistica, we saw a couple of very nice timepieces. As a reminder, Hybris Artistica stands for a mix of high complication and fine artistic craft, something which sounds to me a bit of a pleonasm when you're talking fine watchmaking. Anyhow, these two new watches are built around the same idea of playing with time, but one is more of a manly version and the other one more feminine. You don't have hands to indicate the time, it's mysterious, and instead you have the tourbillon which rotates around the dial in 12 hours, and this what indicates the hour. And regarding the minutes, well, you have a small and discreet pointer that rotates on the disc around the dial too. There's a clear oriental feel to this watch with its geometric mother-of-pearl adjourned top part floating above an aventurine dial. The feminine version is smaller with a snowflake feel to it, as you can see with this tourbillon cage. Let's quickly go over MB&F's quite crazy novelty, the HM7 Aquapod, because here again you will find a detailed report about this super original tourbillon timepiece. And if I go by the many comments made by you guys, this watch has definitely marked some spirits. Please find the link below. And let's now go over Montblanc, and again I will try to be rather short on this one, as I simply don't understand this brand too much, apart if it's kind of the cheap version of the older watches found in the other brands of the Richemont group. So if this is the goal, then I totally get it, and that's fine, it's business. But the brand also has ambition to be recognized as a fine watchmaking brand, and for me this gets me a little bit confused. For instance, this year they emphasize on the Time Walker collection, a sport collection, and you have products starting around the €2,000 mark. But then they show us this crazy chronograph capable of measuring the 1/1000th of a second. This is a remarkable technical achievement for sure, and we had seen previous version of this incredible mechanism with Montblanc, but I just don't see the point of having a €175,000 watch when your goal is to sell accessible mechanical watches. Are you going to buy cheap H&M, Gap, Uniqlo t-shirts because these brands would have a $10,000 version? And vice versa, would you buy this $10,000 t-shirt if you knew that the brand is selling inexpensive apparel? Well, for instance, Dolce & Gabbana stopped its very accessible line because they know it's damaging the reputation and perception of the brand as a luxury player. So this is where I'm getting kind of confused. But let's talk about some other products, because Montblanc acquired some years ago the Minerva brand with its extraordinary know-how and wonderful movements. This could be seen, for instance, with the Rally Timer watch with its start-stop button at 12 o'clock, and more specifically in the 1858 collection with a simple but very nice bicolor automatic watch, another dual time with day-night indication, but most importantly with a really beautiful limited 44mm bronze case model chronograph tachymeter with its monopusher chronograph and very vintagey feel to it. They've gone a bit further in terms of full harmony by coloring the bridges and main plate to match the case, and the champagne dial with the original vintage Montblanc logo is really nice. For me, this chronograph tachymeter, limited to 100 pieces and priced at €27,000, is seriously one of the nicest watches I've seen at the SIHH this year. But again, I still don't really understand this brand's personality, without even talking about the Exo Tourbillon split-second chronograph, also presented by Montblanc. Okay, let's now talk about Panerai, as they presented 5 new watches in the submersible collection, plus some interesting and innovative materials used for both case and movement manufacturing, and informed us about their new partnership with the America's Cup. I always thought that it was a bit strange to see the small British brand Bremont associated with such an important event, so things are getting a little bit more normal, I guess, or more legitimate. So not only will Panerai produce the official watch, a rather simple steel luminor with a bit of added blue and red color, yes I know, no big deal, but also the official watches of 2 participating teams, 3 versions for Oracle USA and 1 watch for the Japanese team SoftBank. All luminor models, nothing too special or exciting I should say, but a nice souvenir for the fans of the Cup and all these sailing outfits. But let's now talk about the 2 main novelties presented by Panerai, both of them bringing a sense of extra innovation in their collection, and both of them linked with the science of materials and tribology. The first one comes in the submersible collection and is called the BMG. Its main new radical feature is that this watch case is made from liquid metal. This is something we've already seen or heard with some other brands, for instance Omega, and how they produce some of their bezels. And to quickly come back on the characteristic of liquid metal, well, it presents a whole new manufacturing process. Instead of machining metal, you can now inject this special alloy in various shaped molds at some very well kept secret temperatures, and ta-da! It's done. Okay, I know it sounds very easy said like this, it's slightly more complicated than this. It's still quite experimental, but Panerai have now mastered the process, enabling them to come with this new case, which is more robust, lighter than steel and stronger than titanium. This for sure represents a very interesting part when it comes to manufacturing some parts of your watch, the case in particular, as it reduces the time spent to do this. So at the end, I think it's perfect for brands that produce very large amounts of watches, and we know that Rolex is currently investigating this as well. The second innovation comes in a watch called the Lab ID, and there the goal was to produce a timepiece not needing any lubrication. Any watch movement needs lubrication, just like your car's engine, but we know that these lubricants vary with temperature change and simply degrade with time. They dry out. So this ultimate goal of having a watch without any lubricant has been the fantasy of many R&D departments of many brands for quite some time, and we've seen some experimental projects here and there, but no one has really found this solution. Well, Panerai now claim that they've achieved this with this Lab ID, and they feel confident enough to offer a 50-year guarantee for the 50 limited timepieces it will produce. We'll see about that, but even if the watch doesn't fully deliver its 50-year promise, it's still a nice coup by the brand, as it nevertheless sets them up there as an innovator. They've reached this objective by an extensive use of new carbon materials, and quite incredibly enough, this movement only holds 4 joules, and the next steps for them is no joules at all, as the material used are self-lubricating using their very particular tribology properties. This watch is as black as it gets. The case is made out of Carbotech and the dial is made out of carbon nanotube that sucks in the light, reason why they had to place the brand's logo directly on the sapphire glass in order to see it. So 50 timepieces, 50-year warranty, and therefore a very logical €50,000 price tag. So this is it for the second part of our A to Z of the 2017 SIHH. We're at the letter P and we'll come back at the same letter P. See you real soon.